Hello, this is Minecraft, but spontaneously. It's time to play for real. For a while, at least. Hold on. I've gotta mess with some things. I believe that's sufficiently messed with for now. So I noticed this is uneven, or rather odd, because it's like an odd number of blocks. So that's nice, isn't it? How nice of me to do that to myself. So I think I would like to make this area, there's a fish, and a place I can get treasure. And there was another, like a boat over that way, but I want to make this area into the farm zone because I need food to survive. So that's the goal, is to make a bit of farm zone. But before we can make farm zone, we need some more materials, probably. I have barely any materials, so I could go for iron in these iron tunnels, or I could go down there and get diamonds. I will choose iron for now. There's this cave, which has stuff in it, I suppose. But I will go the highway. My way or the highway. This dirt probably holds secrets. And there's something up there. But who cares about that right now? I don't use hotkeys to swap items. I just never learned how. I'm sure it would be easier, but it kind of takes you out of the game to look it down at your keyboard to figure out which hotkey you need to press. Meanwhile, scrolling is faster if you can get used to it. Or rather, it's more natural. Not faster, but more natural. I'd like to find where that zombie is, because that means there's a cave. And there's also bats, I think. It sounds like it's coming from this way. Or not. I stopped hearing it. Where'd it go? Whatever. Maybe it's forward. Or to the left. Okay. I think I've tunneled a bit too much. My pickaxe is running out. I don't have enough stuff for another iron pickaxe. So I need to, I'll finish this off just for satisfaction. And then I'll look for other ways to get a pickaxe. Other ways to get iron. I need to earn more iron. Maybe there's caves around in the surface. I hate that you have to scavenge for iron now. Back in the old days, you didn't have to scavenge for iron. You just found it everywhere. But no, can't have that. Can't have the game be too much fun. I need more chests, because I don't have that many. One will be all cobblestone and one will be all dirt stone. You know, dirt stone. I'm sure some dirt has stone in it. Or rocks. Just to justify my mad ramblings. I have a bucket. Thank goodness. That means I can survive anything. Any kind of height. Aha, iron. I have earned the iron. But only 2 pieces. That's fine. That puts my total up to 10 pieces of raw iron. And the way I work is I want to get 9 before I smelt 8, because then I can leave 1 behind in my inventory, so that then so that then whenever I get more iron, it will just go straight there. So let's start carving the path for this thing that I'm gonna dig. I'm pretty much gonna dig all of that straight through there, all the way down to sea level. And then once I'm on the ocean, I'm gonna start building my crops. And since this is like an odd number of blocks wide, I'm gonna make the entrance also an odd number of blocks, 3 blocks. However, there will not be a door. I'm not doing doors this time. And it's a challenge, alright, and I'm gonna see just how far that can get me in my base, having no doors. I have earned the iron. I think that's a good amount of stuff, but I'll just put 1 more there just in case. You can never have too many shovels, can you? Where's the rest of my dirt? That's it. That's all my dirt that I have. I am dirt poor. I am poor of the dirt. I need more sticks so that I can make tons of ladders. Because this will take me lots of ladders to get up there, to get back up here. So this side will be wall pretty much. So I want to start building the ladder on these 2 sides. And it'll probably be like 4 wide on each side, and then have 3 in the middle, or 3 wide on each side, and have there be something in the middle that's 5 wide. So I should start digging here anyway. It'll all make sense once it's done and all made. Sometimes you just can't talk a vision into existence in someone else's mind. You just have to make the vision and then show it to someone and be like, see, this is what I meant. I'm not a madman. And then they go, oh yeah, I can see that. That is a sufficient distance. Sufficient level of lowness to go. Now I just have to do that for all this space. Yeah. Ideas. Things. Would you look at that? At least I have a sword, but they all have crossbows. It's not fair, I tell you. The distance is not fair. I need to have my super enchanted super sword with all the enchantments in the game placed upon it. Why do these trees have to grow so tall? Why do they burden me so with tall trees? I like some tall trees, but that tall tree is not okay. It's like that HR meme. Tall trees are only okay if they're some trees. Some certain types of trees. Usually I play games with YouTube in the background, which is probably bad for me, but it's nice not having anything on in the background and having it just be the game. Very different. A lot of games are just very grindy, like Minecraft. Minecraft is very grindy, so then you want to fill the grind space with something you feel like is actually productive, even though it isn't any more productive than the grind is. But you play a game to be like entertained, I suppose, so when you get to the boring part, you want other entertainment to fill the space. That's another explanation. But I'm just like, well, wait a minute, why does the boring part of a game have to exist at all? Technically, you don't have to do this grind stuff in Minecraft. It just makes it easier to do certain things. It makes your base bigger. It makes your resources more in general. Before long, I'll have to find even more iron. I must earn the iron. But yeah, I feel like playing music and other YouTube videos while you're doing something is kind of, might be bad for the mind. And it's become a very normal thing within the past few years. Because you need some time to wonder about stuff and think about things. But if you don't have the time to think about things and you don't give yourself that time, then where does your mind go? It might get gone. And you don't want your mind to get gone, you want your mind. Maybe even your brain. I should really place torches up here. This is not good torch placement, but it'll do for now. Until I become less lazy and replace the torch placement. And replace where all of these things go. Because they won't stay there forever. Because that looks ugly. Who knows, maybe I'll put a room down here where I store everything, and then I have like 15 branching mines going everywhere. And then I call it the Mines of Moria, because I'm uncreative. I'm kidding. It's fine to like Lord of the Rings, but I just feel like if you name everything after things that you like, then it's less creative. And you should make your own things, or at least be able to. So in conclusion, you can make things based on things you like, but don't make every single thing based on something that you like. Make something of your own every now and then. I once saw a Minecraft video that posed the question, or rather not really posed it, but the guy was like, who on earth would want to really just sit there and make a huge hole in Minecraft? And I'm just like, well, I would. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm the type of person who would want to do that. Maybe not as a one-day project, but as an entire years-long project. I could make a huge hole in Minecraft. You would need tons of resources to make a huge hole. Well, depending on how huge the hole is, that is. But in my version of a huge hole, you would need tons of resources and tons of being willing to waste tons of time and tons of being able to repair your tools. You'd probably need a beacon in order to make the huge hole that I'm thinking of. Maybe even several beacons laid all across the land. I think that beacons have a certain distance downward that you can get away from them. Their reach. Get away from their reach. So if you build it like low enough, like at the bottom of the world, then the beacon, I believe, should be able to reach you all the way up. So let's say you build it at the bottom, then you can get a beacon effect from like a few chunks around it. So then you could mine out a few chunks around a beacon. That's my theory anyway. Either that or it just works no matter how low you are away from it. Or high. And then there's a third theory that I could have, which is what if the beacon works in a sphere? What if it works in a sphere? What if it like emits a huge sphere of influence where you get caught up in it? Or rather you get caught in the sphere and then that's what gives you the buffs. But if you're outside of the sphere, then you don't get the buffs from the beacon. There's a thought. Basically, how does a beacon work? That's the question that I'm posing. So, we need a lot of this tough stuff in order to make a roadway. And also we need andesite. We have pretty much no andesite and pretty much no tough stuff. I like using this and that for my roads. So let's see how far out we can make a road just with what we have. And then I can start cobbling together a little platform for our farm. So this road will be 3 wide in the middle, which means I start it here. And that's how far it goes. At least with that stuff. But what about this stuff? There. Not too far. I'd like to at least get past that edge right there. There are dolphins all around. What are they doing? But yeah, we need some more resources. And for more resources, we need some more iron. Some stinking iron around here. And for that, first we need more wood. I will get myself a stone pickaxe, because this one will break soon. As you do. That kind of pickaxe, not the other kind. Or rather, axe. The other one was a pickaxe. This is an axe. One picks, one does not, I suppose. I guess that's why it's called a pickaxe, because it picks at things. I was thinking about initial letters, and I was like, well, why is it called initials? Why do we call it initials? And I was like, oh, wait. Because it's the first letters of your name. It's your initial letters. That's why it's called initials, because it's your first letters. It's your initial ones. Sometimes things have a very obvious answer to them. There's a lot of things out there that we just don't question why they are the way that they are. Like why it's called initials. But if you do question things and you want to find the answer, sometimes you can get the answer on your own. And sometimes if you just look it up, then the answer is more interesting than you think it would be. So basically, expand your brain, you stinky people. If you are stinky, then don't be. That's my advice of the day. Become unstinkified. Don't let people say you stink and have it be true. I think that's all of that wood up there. Finally. Beds are very convenient in this game. Very, very convenient. I think I saw a village at some point. Not on this stream, but just when I was messing around. Making the world for the first time. I kind of want to keep this natural stuff right there, but I also kind of want to make this all this type of stone at some point. Have I missed any wood? Would you tell me if I did? Would I believe you? Would this be enough? It would not be enough. We would need more wood. Or would we? We have enough wood, yay. Ladder's complete, so that's one thing completed. Look at this calcite, stinking calcite. Why is there cobbled deep slate in here? You go there. What else goes into that, and that, And that should be all for those. A little bit of light organizing. Never hurt anyone, said the man who never got hurt. The invincible man. A little bit of death never hurt anyone, said the invincible man. I should put some dirt there so that I can make all this neat and proper. Ta-da! We have tree land, land of the tree, and maybe another tree. Maybe not just one tree, but two. Iron. Must find iron, but where? Not here, surely. Surely a different place, surely. Seems to be a ravine just cutting through here. Doesn't go that deep. Little bitty hole in the ground. With nothing in it. Thanks, hole. This is also just a hole. There's melons. That's nice. Do I see villages? I do not see villages. Nor do I see holes. Anywhere. I see pumpkins, though. Maybe... I thought they were melons, but I think they're pumpkins instead. Which is fine too, I'll take those. I'll take all of them, in fact. So that I can destroy this land of its natural look. And not because I need pumpkins or anything. I could scour the surface, the entire surface of this entire zone until I find iron. But I think that I'd rather just dig for it until I find it. At like different elevations. Odd little land masses coming up here and there. That's not having iron in there. We have sheep. Pretty little sheepy. Little undersea lamp. These things spawn those different drowned zombies. Air bubbles, yay. Sometimes they have tridents and are highly aggressive. I guess this one doesn't have any zombies. And there's the chest right there. Strange. Like a certain doctor, this is strange. It's oddly close to the surface, too. Nice wheat. Coal. Treasure map. Now, where does this treasure take me? Which way? Is it that way, or is it this way? Is it... which way is it? I don't know. I just know where that is, because it's huge, and I made it huge. There's a cave. No iron. Just a tiny cave. There's that shipwreck. Wide cave. Do you have anything for me? Oh, baby zombie. Strangely ferocious little creatures. I could make a pumpkin pie. Because I think it just takes wheat and a pumpkin. It might take sugar, however, which I do not have. There's sugar cane. I guess now I have sugar. Get over here, you dolphin. You stinking sea creature. And let me see that over there. There's those big trees. Which means that there could be a pale forest over there. There's a jungle there. Nice. For a moment, I thought I saw something else at one of these two things. I saw the mushroom, and I was like, oh, what if it's a mushroom biome? A whole mushroom biome. Where'd that thing I was searching for go? I think I lost it. How do you lose a shipwreck? There's my base. And there's that treasure over there. There's fishes around me. Or rather, fish. I don't like it when singulars can be plural too. I mean, we have multiple words for a reason. Multiple kinds of words for a reason. Why you gotta make one kind of word two kinds of words at the same time? I thought that was the gray zone, but it wasn't. Where'd the shipwreck go? I know it was around here. Why is there so much kelp? Kelp isn't even that good for you to eat. It doesn't restore that much HP. Or rather, hunger meter. I think this might be a lost cause in the dark. Unless that's it. That's not it. Not it at all. There's a lot of things you just can't do at night. Stinking nighttime limiting me. And all I can see. Shipwrecks should be closer to the surface, I think. Normally. I guess I'm gonna go mining. Looks like there's a cavern there. Big wound in the earth. That's what I can call that cavern, wound of earth. There's zombies following me. Oh no. What'll happen? So scary. What is scary is a creeper. Oh, then there's multiple. Many creepers, many skeletons. Somehow. Ow. Don't hurt me. I don't want to be hurted today. I want to be alive today. I think. So this is at 10. 10 should be the magic number. Should be. Should be. So what if we just go down one of these holes? Put that up first. I'm gonna use my diamond thingy. In order to break through. Using diamonds to get iron. What has the world come to? Here's a neat trick. Ta-da. Ta-da. Worked since forever. Not sure when it got implemented into Minecraft. But it sure is nice. Probably very unintentional. Game design wise. But it works. And if it works, why not use it? Well, we have some real danger now. A real cavern. Iron, yes, but need to clear the way. Maybe these ceilings are too small for anything to spawn. Or maybe they're just small enough for only baby zombies to spawn. Wouldn't that be something? I guess this goes on a really long way. I don't like caves that go on forever. I just want the cave to end so that I have some completion in my brain. Some sense of completing the cave. And then I can just get all its resources and get out of there. And never have to think about it again. But no, let's make all the caves much larger than they were before. Thanks, game, for that one. Surprise skeleton. Just in a corner. Why was he there? Who knows? Yep. More. Kill me more. He doesn't give up. Skeletons really hurt you a lot, don't they? Maybe that's a bit jerkish of them. Especially with how they remix your inventory. Where'd he go? Did he despawn? That's what it feels like. Feels like he's gone forever. Well, I guess that was something. This is a nice big vein of iron, nice and veiny. We need more veiny veins of iron. 16 is alright. There's more iron down here, but I need to make some other infrastructure. I think I'll make these farms, like 4 of them. I did 3 in the last world, 3 by 3, but I'll do 4 by 4 here. That way I can have the middle be right there and then have it split evenly, because it'll be like split by one single block. Each one will. And if the one block is in the center here, then it'll look even on both sides. Instead of looking odd, it'll look very even, and you will see what I mean. You'll see it, I say. Pumpkins, wheat, you don't want to jump down there. Of course I ended up doing it anyway. That's comedy, don't you know? Comedy is hurting yourself until you don't feel the pain anymore. I want to make it a little bit away from those walls, so I think that this is a good distance. I'll need lots of dirt and leaves. I need some leaves so that I can make these pumpkins levitate above the leaves, and then the leaf can hold water inside of it. Just 4 leaves for now, and then I will leaf it alone. And 4 of these. Nice and efficient there. If I do say so my own self. And then torches. I must torch them. And then get a lot more of this stuff. Dirt. Fill me up with dirt. As far as the eye can see. And as far as the me can see. Stinking kelp. Now we can kind of treat this as like a laser printer. As in, we do one line at a time. We scan across it until everything is done and completed. We can also just put these up here. Make sure there's some light. Make sure it is lighted. And then place these torches strategically and evenly so that it can look nice and also be useful to my empirical needs. That's what I can call this world, the Empire. Like I'm a Star Wars man. The Man Empire, the Empire of Man. In real life, there's a place called the Isle of Man. So I could be the Empire of Man. No, no, cannot afford to lose a torch. Hello there. Why do you have a Nautilus shell? How did you get a Nautilus shell? Ow. Stinker. You hit me. That's not very fair of you. Well, alright then. I guess he's left. I guess that'll be one downside to building this on top of an ancient Indian burial ground. An ancient Indian underwater burial ground of the Atlanteans. Is that zombies will occasionally attack me, the undead. Just like in Poltergeist. But if I cover it all up just enough, then it should be fine. Probably. Probably fine. It's almost like totally fine. You want it to be totally fine, but it's probably just probably fine. Ta-da! That's one square out of 16 that will eventually be here. So 5, 4. I think that I can let the kelp go. I don't need to get every little bit of kelp. See all the kelp around me? Oh! Hello there. Zombo Man. Zombingle. Zomboid. Nautilus shell. Why was he carrying it? I have no idea how this game works at certain points in time. See, it's in the center. The dividing line is in the center. So that part of the brain is satisfied. I guess I can also line these up with those torches. I was just doing it by counting, but the torches help. That is one too far. Can't go too far, or else you will never go regular far. You need to go one far, not too far. Too far is too much. Not quite sure which, or rather what, each square of the farm will be. But I'm sure they'll have their uses. We'll have at least one be pumpkin and one be melon. One, maybe a couple of wheat and a couple of potato and a couple of carrot. And only one of the beetroots, because nobody likes beetroots. They do so little health. And this is a game of if it's not useful, then why would you use it? That's kind of what all games are, actually. You can tell which weapons in what games are the best ones just by how popular they are. Usually. Sometimes it's just popular as a meme. Like the Moonlight Greatsword. However, often the Moonlight Greatsword is also a good weapon. But not like an excellent weapon. So it's in an odd place amongst the meme weaponry. Moon. So right, I can plant these things because I took my planter with me. I forgotted that. I can also burn up some iron because I have that too. Look at me forgetting things. How forgetful of me. Now that we have the farm going, that should take care of food. At least once it's actually grown. That's all the dirt that I had, so I'll have to do some projects around here to get some more dirt. Sun's coming up. Put this stuff up. Maybe make some food. No idea where this goes. Maybe I'll make a boat and then go out on the water for a while. Zombie. 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 Okay. Thanks for that one. I thought you'd give me a little more time to hit you. Like a second or two. But no. At least I have some stringaling. Come here, creeper. Stop creeping. Takes about 4 hits with an iron sword to kill a creeper. And maybe 3 with a diamond sword. And then like 1 or 2 with the diamond sword if it's fully enchanted. Highly volatile creatures. The coal went in the right place. Everything in my inventory has a place, and a space, and a time. Just gotta refine the space, and the place, and the time. One of these is gonna be sugarcane. I just don't have a place for sugarcane right now. Ah, bread. Good old bread. Or is it breeded? Boat. Boat time. Must go boating. Figure out where this goes. Eventually I'll light up all this and have it look all neat. I guess I should also till all of this land with hoes. You till it with a hoe. How intriguing. Do you hoe it with a till? No, I don't think so. But you till it with a hoe. Wheat is probably the best thing that you can plant, because it can feed you, it can feed cows and sheep. It can feed pretty much everything you need. And you need a lot of cows to make lots of books. So it's just good to have a lot of wheat room in your farm. Eventually I will get a diamond hoe and fully upgrade it. Is that the shipwreck? I found it with my morning eyes. So now let's see where this is and also get the shipwreck. See if we get any closer to where that's supposed to be. Hopefully it's like angled that way and I'm supposed to go over there somewhere and not like a billion miles away. Pail, no pail. No pail, just regular stuff down there. Weird boat. Why does the boat work weird? No door down here, so paper. Another buried treasure map. It's the same one. Ah, but we are closer. There should be another one. Chest. Oh, wow. Wow. That's a lot of iron. My goodness. Well, thank goodness I found that one. Is there another one? I think usually there's just two. So I'm gonna assume that I go this way. That looks like a... No, this way is what I meant. That's what I meant to say. Got turned around. There's some nice bamboo for whenever I want to make scaffolding. Gotta get a spider spawning thing going though. What are you doing down here? Man. Just ruining all my fun. There's a nice amount of sand to smelt in a smelter. You know, whoever smelt it, dealt it. Horses. What else can I see with my eye? Not much of anything. Just a zombie where I need to be. 2 zombies, great. Very great. Come on, you shouldn't hit me from that far away. I'll be nicer to you if you don't hit me. So now you should be like around there somewhere, around here, around here is where the buried treasure is. You just have to look. Just have to keep digging till you find it. Thank goodness I found it that quickly. What makes them spawn underwater? I mean, what conditions do I have to meet in order to get them to spawn? Does it just have to be far enough underground? How come he died in one hit? Poor fella, he didn't get a good fighting chance. Lots of gold, some iron, some of that. Second diamond. Good, good. Heart of the sea, as you do. Water breathing potion, why not? Why not take a bit of that? Cooked fish. Nice. Why is that in 2? Make it in 1. I guess that's that. That's the buried treasure. Gone forever, buried treasure. Gone forever in my inventory, that is. The place where it should be. So I think I'll build at least the frame of the farm, because I can do a good amount of work on that. And then once I get enough dirt and these materials, I can build the bridge further. But that's a sufficient bridge as it is. And we don't need fancy, schmancy, good bridges. We just need workable bridges that can do the job, that can get the job done. I think I need more chests again. Need to make a goods chest for any goods that I get. Any even semi-goods. And just things that are not found underground, pretty much. Well, you know what I mean. Not stones and stuff. Less regular stuff. So now I have that much stuff in here. Still a lot of just randomly thrown in here things. Nice and organized. Until I reorganize everything later, once this is all looking pretty. But anyway. Just keep hurting myself. I threw the fish away into the treasure chest. Why did I do that, me? And then me is like, I don't know you. As in comma, you. Before you know it, you're calling yourself me and you. But can you really be me and you, or just me? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, middle thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then separator. That's how far it should go, probably. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be perfected. Oh man, it's raining on my wet farm, my farm of water, and thunderstorming. That's less nice. I don't like it when lightning strikes in games are just completely random. Like there's this challenge in Breath of the Wild where it'll just every now and then lightning strike a random area. And it's a combat challenge. So you just every now and then can randomly just die, fail the combat challenge because you got unlucky. The lightning strike landed on you, and I don't think that's fair. There's a time and a place for random things in games to take place. And like, stuff like that is not where it should be. So how long is that? That is 4, 16, 18. So 19 altogether. That's going to hit the rock. So I'm going to go outward here. And then I'll just go ahead and hit the rock. And I can dig this out a bit later. Shouldn't be too much stone and dirt to move out of the way. So that's 3, but we want to make it 4. And we shall. Or rather, I shall, while you just sit there and do nothing. What? Did they just spawn there? I feel like they just spawned there. So that's 4 this way, but what about that way? What about this away? I feel like I can get this frame done before too long. So I think that that'll be all that I do today, is get this frame done. Or rather, that'll be the finale today, is the end of the frame. Which shouldn't take too terribly long to get to. Unless you just don't like watching people place things. Which if you don't, then why are you watching? You silly person. It's Minecraft. That's the whole game. Is mining things and then placing things. Aha. One crop has grown. I have taken notice of it with my eye. And I shall steal the crop from myself. Water creeper? What a creeper. Explode. Explode already. Do it. I want you to. I want you to explode. Do it. Ta-da. Negated. What a nerd to just let me negate him like that. Eventually I'll make this all look pretty, but right now it just needs to be a frame. It's too bad that that one block of dirt was not one block over. Because then I wouldn't have to mine it up. I could just leave it there, like these 2 bits of dirt. $19. That's a good amount to have. Gets me to the next rung over there on the ladder of finishing things. What? Okay. Thanks, kelp. You've been a great kelp today. Hello there, regular zombie of normal origin. I guess they can walk a pretty far distance. Might have just walked straight across there. Armadillo. Sometimes you have to wonder why they add certain animals to the game when there's like almost no functionality to them. All armadillos are good for in Minecraft is making wolf armor. So the armadillo itself isn't useful, but what it can make is useful. A wolf in itself is useful in Minecraft, and you could say that a cow is because you can get stuff from it. I guess armadillo is useful in the same way, but you can't eat an armadillo, can you? And you can't make books out of an armadillo. Pigs are kind of useless, but you can ride pigs. Well, what? What? Come on, man. Why do you have to spawn like that? Why do you have to be brought into this world? That's kind of a mean question, isn't it? Anyway, I just need my supplies. Don't kill me, I just need my supplies. Burn, burn, die, burn. Put up some supplies, take some supplies. Thank you for the free stuff, zombie. There. I have some bricks already, but I will use some new ones. Thanks for not dropping your sword. Very cool of you, sir. I will not need nearly this many. I will get 4 because that is an even number. And we like evening things around here. Making things even. It's evener than even Steven. I think that was Shia LaBeouf who was in Even Steven, the TV show that was on television. You know, as opposed to TV shows that are on streaming, I suppose. Thank you, dolphin. Whoa! But, to finish my thought earlier, I suppose developers should just think more about what they add to a game before adding it in there. Make sure it actually should be in there and fits the aesthetic of the game. Unlike the changes they've been making with the baby animals, which is one of the reasons why I'm still on 21.5. I just hate the changes they've been making. I don't know why they added a spear into the game. Or is it a partisan? I guess you can call it a partisan in the text editor. The in-game text editor. Well, there you have it. There's the frame. And there's an armadillo who just can't go anywhere. Gotta get lots more torches to light this place up, and lots more dirt to fill in every hole, and lots more other things to... other crops and things to put in each spot. But for now, it's a pretty alright farm. Also gotta finish this bridge at some point. But for now, that's a pretty alright place to be, I feel like. Look at that, look at all that. Everything the torches touch are your kingdom. Or something like that. Farewell.